Aloha, my name is Matt Darnell with ComTel.Cloud, ComTel.Cloud, like up in the sky. I'm here joined by Greg, and we are going to be talking about some things, some topics that came up this week. Quick and fancy for you folks. All right, first thing, right to repair. What is your opinion if I buy a tractor or a car or a lawnmower? Should there be anything in there that I one have to go to the manufacturer for? It's a secret, it's encoded. I don't get the codes for how to fix my tractor, how to extend this lifespan, or should the manufacturers be able to lock it down? What do you think, Jackson?
I am. What part are they saying that you like anything? I think if it's under warranty and they're committed to fixing it, then they should be obligated to. But there's probably, they probably expect you to like change the brakes, change the tires. If we're talking about like a tractor or something. So there's got to be some give and take. I don't know. What did the article say?
Well, it kind of more generalized. Like there are things that you can turn on. Like
Hmm.
I sell you something and oh, you want a rear view camera? It was installed with that. But if
Oh,
you want that, you've got to pay to go ahead and do that. This is a general kind of a thing. So if I want to fix something, should the specs be sent out so people can copy that, or can they, make that secret? And they say they can make it cheaper because of the fact that it is secret and they're not able to send that out. I think it's hogwash. I think everything should be able to be fixed. Now you might not want to, might not make it be cost effective, but they shouldn't be able to block some. I mean, imagine if you had the only place you could buy tires was from the dealer, or rims, or get your brakes done, or oil changed. Um, that's really crazy.
oh, those things are expensive too.
Exactly. So, hearing aids. So, my mother,
What was
you
that? What'd you say?
hearing aids. You got me. You
Ah,
got me. You got me. My mother uses hearing aids, and they're $4,000 a piece each side, and those are not high-end ones. I mean, they're Bluetooth, and you can kind of find them on your phone. But now, AirPods, the Pro 2s have been authorized by the FDA. You can see that for hearing aids. And that's for what, $300 max kind of a thing. So
yeah.
I'm literally this week going to go buy a pair of AirPods 2, get them from Costco. If they don't work, we always can take them back or we have another pair of AirPods around. But to me, this is an absolute breakthrough for technology. Have you ever had to buy a pair of hearing aids?
I have not. I do have the AirPod 2, the AirPod Pro 2s. I think they do two things. If they can do the noise canceling and amplify, that's going to be wonderful for a lot of people.
And you take a hearing test. Your phone, you have to have an iPhone, which again, they're linking them together. But take a hearing test. It emits like a high pitched sound, a low pitched sound. Can you hear this? Can you not hear that? Left ear, right ear. Hold it by your left side, hold it by your right side, kind of thing. I imagine that there's that. But I mean, for three, and then to find them is so easy. They make the noise. I've spent days with her. Like, and they're, between a cushion or something, and they're so expensive and hard to clean, and you want to get them adjusted, you've got to go back to the place for that. So I'm sure they're not as good as a hearing aid would be, but for medium hearing loss, slight hearing loss, I think it's great, and that's very normalized now to walk around with hello, Mr. Jackson, you got them in your ears right now. It's very normalized. So I'm real excited about that. I'll let you know how that goes.
Thanks.
So this one here, Zoom versus Teams, and the AI they have. Do you think Zoom has a chance um, with any of the AI with maintaining their lead? I thought they were going to lose it all when everybody's doing the Zoom bombing and that kind of
Yeah.
a thing. But I mean, they've hung in there and they have the Zoom workspace and. But do you think they have a shot?
I don't think when you look at teams, they don't handle outside of the ecosystem very well. And I think that's where Zoom really bridges the gap. I think at some point, You keep everybody in your ecosystem with Teams, and then if you're dealing with vendors and external customers or what have you, I think Teams is going to be okay. I think that they do probably need to be in the front end of technology, and they need to develop and be ahead of the Teams ecosystem. The payload for Zoom, I think, might be a little bit better than Teams, so there's some benefits there. Yeah,
When you say what do you mean when you say payload?
the it's the amount of bandwidth, how they use bandwidth for large groups of people, multitask versus unicast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've set up a bunch of Teams rooms for folks using Yealink room cameras, not like these are multi-thousand-dollar cameras, and the I always wondered how much of it's in the camera and how much of it is the Teams client. Because as far as we have the camera where you can put it in the middle of the table and it takes a picture of everybody around and it can highlight the person that's doing the talking from one picture, show three or four different heads, from one camera. Yeah, so all that AI, the note taking, I think Zoom is ahead, but I just wonder how long they'll be able to keep that going. So here is the age-old question. Should cell phone manufacturers, and when I mean manufacturers, I mean T-Mobile and AT&T, the providers, the cell phone service providers, should they be forced to unlock their phones? And I can see both sides there. If they can sell you an inexpensive phone, sell the phone at a loss, because they know they've got you for 3 years. If that goes away, they will have to jack up the price of the phone because you'll buy under law. If this law is passed, then after 60 days, you can force your phone, to be unlocked and switch carriers. But I think, cell phone providers, they're just holding on for dear life. The days of people signing 3 or 4 year contracts, I think you're silly if you do that. Month to month, just buy the phone, pay for it, jump around, bring your number with you.
There's got to be a diminishing returns when you look at the cost of the phone and the cost to keep the customer. These phones are getting more and more expensive. It's crazy.
My I have an iPhone 15 Pro Max. It costs more than my laptop.
Yeah.
Which is, if you told me, oh, go spend $1,200 on a laptop, I'm thinking, okay, I can do that. I'm expecting, a big screen, nice keyboard, all this RAM and
Yeah.
processor, and I have that there. So, and pretty soon, and now with the flip phones and the fold phones, and they're even more. So, they're really in a quandary. How do they provide flagship phones at a reasonable price? Um, because if people had to pay the unbundled price, not everybody's able to do that, to plop down 1,500 bucks. So Apple doesn't want that for sure, and Samsung doesn't want that. They want those phones subsidized.
Yep.
Okay. AI training. Okay. You have a bunch of pictures that you've worked hard on and some songs or something. Should all these large language models, all these AI trainers be able to, train and learn on your images or your songs without your permission, or should they have to have your explicit permission to be able to do that?
Are you paying for Copilot? Because if you're paying, then maybe you can opt out. If it's free, then maybe that's just the cost of it being free.
Right, but I made that. That's my song. I didn't say you could learn how to make a song based on my song, or learn how to write a story, or the protagonist and antagonist, and how the
And
flow of a story, and and how different is it from a human? Every author that's wrote a book read a book first. Everybody that
you
painted a
you heard about what
picture.
they were doing in California? They
No.
they're they outlawed the use of actors' likenesses because what they're trying to do is they're trying to retain some of the actors that are getting older, and they want to turn them into AI figures and then resell their likeness. And so they've made it illegal to do that.
Oh my, is that just in California? Or I wonder
I
if the Hollywood kind of a thing, because
Yeah,
I could
yeah.
see that. Why pay Tom Cruise $25 million for a movie, when you could spin up a little GPU farm
Yeah,
for 4 months and render him and not pay him a dime. There's,
yeah.
have that there. So those guys got to be scared, you know. Eh,
Some of these conferences that I've been to, they even can do 3D imaging and stick you in a little AI produced video. It's
yeah,
pretty neat.
20 years from now, acting that's not gonna be a thing anymore. Okay. iPhone users, I know this is kind of iPhone heavy here, but they can try AT&T for free for 30 days. And why this caught my eye is I used to, we're here in Hawaii. I used to be on T-Mobile. We just, again, I think anybody that uh, is loyal to a cell phone company, you're a sucker because, you think, oh, I read about this article on, about the, I saw a TV ad about this deal. That's for new customers. All the existing customers, they're just hoping it's too much work to change. So we hop around all the time. So we switched to Verizon with a phone that is, of course, locked and have it there. And it's horrible, coming over the
Oh, wow.
mountains and if I would have tried it for 30 days, there's no way we would have switched to Verizon. I probably would have stuck with T-Mobile. But here, I mean, how beautiful is that? I mean, I even want to try, even though I'm locked into there. But this kind of thing where you can try AT&T, for 30 days. Do you know of any other carrier that can do that?
So on the business side, they have trial phones to do something very similar, but it's very costly to just hand somebody, here's the phone that you're thinking about buying 1,000 of, go take these for about a month. So yeah, and I think that it sounds like they're extending the same courtesy to end users, but especially in Hawaii, it gets really dicey with the coverage.
Absolutely, yeah, and mainland. When I go to the mainland being the continental United States, you get the 5G UX and all these different Verizon things. So if you can hear me now, not over the poly, you cannot hear me now going over the hill and through the tunnels. I promise you that. All right, last one here, air taxis. So if you had to guess, how many years will, if at all, if in your lifetime, would you feel comfortable enough to, on your phone, on your Uber, your Air Uber app, say, I need an air taxi to take me from my house to
Yeah.
Costco to the beach, and this autonomous flying vehicle lands in your backyard, and you're just gonna hop in and not worry about it. I mean, worry no more than getting on a commercial, 747, 737 Airbus airplane. Do you think in your lifetime you're going to have that level of comfort with these kind of electric taxis, air
There's
taxis?
there's going to be a time when I just don't care what happens. It'll probably be then because
Okay.
this stuff makes me nervous.
Right. I mean, you're a relatively young man. You got a
Thank you.
good couple decades in front of you here. Um, but I wonder, I mean, 30 years from now, I mean, I mean, it's a fast acceleration, but when you look at from Orville and Wendell Wright, I mean, I think 50 years later we were on the moon, right? And that's a huge gap there, And so I'm thinking probably at least 15 years from me. So what is this 20? So 2039, I will be taking my first, okay, 2039, January 1, I will take my first air taxi ride there. Whether it was one person, two people, or anything like that. But yeah, so it's coming. It's going to happen. The drones and all the AI. But yeah, it's going to be a while for me. At least 15 years.
Are these fully autonomous or are these are pilot driven?
I'm sure they're going to start off pilot driven, but then it's going to go,
They don't
fully.
look like they carry more than a couple people. That
Yeah, I
looks
mean,
tiny.
there's going to be all different sizes and capabilities and
Wow.
everything like that. Yeah. So thank you again. This was Matt Darnell with ComTel.Cloud and Greg Jackson. All the links to all these articles will be down in the notes. If you have any questions, hit them up there in the comments, and we will get back to you. Have a great day. Aloha.
Aloha.